Wiiviewer
and The LilWiiviewer.
and we're going to review...
Guilty Party for the Wii.
I guess the very first thing we have to talk about is the theme song. This title has a theme song, and it's actually quite catchy.
It's been a crime, a crook is on the loose, you need to act before he cooks your goose. Investigate the where and why and who, don't hesitate, you know what you must do. You got to find the guilty party before the guilty party finds you. Guilty party, find the guilty party.
That was a cool theme song, and it told you everything you have to know about the game.
Well, I mean, it's kind of cool.
You want to sing along?
No.
The whole basic feel of this title is like a board game. Now, that's not really anything new to the Wii with Mario Party and all. This isn't like rolling a dice and going a few spaces. This is kind of like one of those 3D board games from the 80s, where you have to move your character with certain dice and using special cards. But I really did like the look and feel of the title. Plus, it was really easy for kids to pick up and play.
The story was about Mr. Valentine and how they got a letter, and Mr. Valentine was doing all these different tricks against other people by making other people steal things because he helped them out.
Basically, it's about a group of people who have to go out and solve crimes and stop the evil Mr. Valentine. There is an overarching storyline where you're trying to find a family member who's been kidnapped.
And eventually you won't just care about them, and you'll just do other cases that kind of way.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. This woman's been kidnapped, and then 4 or 5 cases later, oh, that's right. We're not supposed to be solving these other cases. We're supposed to be finding this girl who's been kidnapped. I know she's kind of being transferred from place to place, but come on, at a certain point, stop solving all these cases and find your family member.
But the cases have to do with Mr. Valentine, which gives you the next clue to where to go. Or just a coincidence happens.
I know, it just seems like sometimes they got a little off track, but I think we can both agree the ending was completely ridiculous. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
The way you play this game is they give you a certain amount of tokens, and in each of those tokens you can move to one part of the house, or you can use that token to interrogate a suspect or look at a clue. Did you find the rules easy enough to play?
Yes.
Also, occasionally, Mr. Valentine will spring traps or lock doors or turn off lights to make looking for clues and interrogating people harder. You have to use special cards to counteract it. Plus, those cards will also be used for other things, too, like bringing suspects to you or instantly moving to rooms. You can play the story mode with up to 4 people, and the LilWiiviewer and I played some of the story modes together. Did you find that fun when we were playing together, or did you prefer only playing with just you?
Me, personally, I didn't really care.
You had fun playing with me?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I thought it was cool, but when you're playing with more than one player, they give you a time limit and less tokens for a turn. And they give you only a certain amount of turns to solve the mystery or you lose. But trust me when I say they give you tons of turns and you're never going to really have to worry about it in the story mode. As you're collecting clues, you're actually playing mini-games to do this. What'd you think of all the mini-games?
Well, depending on the one that you're on, like either Mr. Valentine minigames or Clue minigames. Clue minigames are quite easy. You should put them up all the way.
If you start on the easiest difficulty, it will actually increase your difficulty level throughout the game because it's going to say, okay, enough of this easy stuff. You're going to be in the hard category.
And it does it fast.
Yeah, it will quickly ramp you up. But it gives you the option to go back down anytime you want.
If you can't handle it.
Yeah, if you can't handle it.
There are also Mr. Valentine minigames, and those show up once per case. And those are a little bit more difficult minigames to play. Sometimes the things the suspects will tell you is not exactly the truth. Shocking, huh? A person lying to a detective. Now, once you get past that mind-blowing idea, you'll have a wand that will tell you if the suspect is telling the truth. You put it over the highlighted area, it'll tell you if it's the truth or a lie.
With those clues that you get, you have to try and find the 4 traits of the person that you're looking for. Hair length, gender, body weight, and how tall they are. And you do this by looking at the clues and interpreting what the people are saying. Like some of the clues are a little bit tricky later on. And when it comes time to accuse, you have to use those 4 traits and you'll show it to them. And if you get it all right, you win the game. But later on, they do something even better, which is they show you all the people and you have to eliminate them one by one. Not by just using traits, but by using alibis as well.
Well, I like that mode a lot better because it's like, seems more like a detective, not like, oh, you're innocent, I'll just give you like 4 simple clues, yada, yada, yada. It's all dark and everything. It's like, oh, Why is it not you?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know why they didn't do that through the whole game. I love the darkened lineup, trying to figure out who the person was. I thought it was a lot better. I'm like, what, did they just change their minds halfway through making this game? You know what? I got an even better idea. We're not going to bother going back to fix those other levels. We'll just do it in like the 3rd or 4th level.
It kind of ramps up the difficulty just a little because you have to find out what traits are different, if they have an alibi or anything.
So if you don't want to play the story mode, there's a party mode. And that's where things can get really fun. You can play a competition, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, or a cooperative mode where you try and find the suspect together.
Earlier you said how you're really not gonna run out of turns. We almost did because we sprung traps on each other.
A lot. I mean, we were just total jerks to each other, weren't we?
I locked you in the room.
And I turned off all the lights and I put traps where it would knock you out. But we were doing it right in the rooms that we were at. And I thought that was a little mean of us.
Yeah.
At the end of each turn, they let you choose between 3 cards to spring on the other opponent. I thought they probably should have kept it blank and not let us see what we're picking. We would always pick the worst possible card to spring on each other. So did you like the party mode?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I liked it too. But unfortunately, there's no story to go along with it. Almost all the clues that you pick up are just people telling you their alibis. And you're supposed to try and figure out whose alibi goes with what. All right, little Wiiviewer, Guilty Party for the Wii. Would you buy, rent, or skip?
Bye, because it's a very fun game.
I'm actually leaning towards rent.
The story mode will take you about 4 hours to beat. And while the party mode is kind of fun, it does get a little bit repetitive with no storyline to go along with it. I wish they had a bunch of pre-made storylines that they could use for the party mode. Right now, while it is kind of cool to figure out alibis, after a while it does get kind of boring. This game is more about the characters because unlike Mario Party, you're not really playing it for the minigames.
And trust me when I say the minigames are nothing special, but they're not monkey ball bad though. The designers were going for something simple that kids could easily play, and they succeeded in that goal. But unfortunately, that means the replayability on those minigames is really low.
I'm still sticking with buy, but I understand why you say rent.
But it's definitely not a skip, agreed?
Yes, no Skippy.